The Gina and Matty podcast.
On the show the last couple of days, G, we've been talking about cars a bit. Now, my car broke down over the weekend. Then you told me about Rod on Christmas Eve trying to get back to his family.
Yeah, years ago. So we're not you and I are not car people, Matty, and my husband certainly is not as well. And he had a little, the sticky thingy that goes into the oily thingy. He and his brother came up with this brainstorm to replace it with a big long screwdriver. Well, that fell out and it gave him a flat tyre. Then he had to break into his own car because he had one of those cars that locks when you shut the door. You know, when the locky things go up and down like the old days where you used to wind your window up and down. That locked him out, flat tyre, and it wasn't good. He had to get a rock and break into his car. Got home at 6 a.m. on Christmas morning, very, very unimpressed by his wife before me.
What I love hearing is the stories about people that have like the quirks that go along with cars, especially if it's your first car, second car, maybe it's a car that you've driven into the ground, and there's certain little quirks that go along with it. Like you say, when he shuts the door, the car just locks. I had an old XE Falcon that was, like, to put it nicely, was a piece of, and when I would drive it, I actually ended up having roadside assistant guy's personal mobile number. He said he saw me that much. He said, just call me direct and I'll come straight to wherever you are. It used to break down that much. But one of the quirks for that car was that whenever I went, did a hard right, so around a roundabout or exiting shopping centre car parks, the car horn would just go off. Right, so could you imagine one of those big concrete car parks, you're doing a hard right to get out and it's going, and it's a V6 Falcon, so it's got one of those super aggressive horns. And I'm just like, I got to the point, I got really good at pretending it wasn't me.
But would you wave at people like you're just waving?
Deadpan, eyes to the front, going, it's not me. Who else could that be? So that would happen when I'd go around a roundabout as well, which was even worse.
Funny. You should never go around that car.
I was like, oh my God. And then I had a Toyota Corolla.
That's my stomach.
God, I got really good at ignoring people. I had a Toyota Corolla that the blinker fell out. Like, it was in a little section bit and I was hanging out by the wires after I hit something anyway. And then I just ended up gaffer taping it up. So I just had gaffer tape holding the blinker in. But that same car, the back door passenger side wouldn't open. So if anyone wanted to get in that side, I'd just wind down the window and they'd dive in like Dukes of Hazzard style. And then the car I've got at the moment, the car that broke down, which is our terrible car, the window on the passenger side won't go up. So if you put it down, it won't go up. So you have to get the driver to put... Anyway, I would love to hear from you, Central Coast, if you have a car or had a car that had a little quirk like that.
We've all had one, Matty.
What about you? Surely in your time you've had a car with a little quirk.
Not as good as your horny car, but... But my car before this car, actually, when you put the lights on high beam, they were like, you know, sometimes when you look at people and you don't know if they're looking at you or not, they got one eye going that way and one eye going that way, and you don't know which eye to look in. Yeah. Well, my car was like that. So on high beam, there'd be one light out to the houses on the left and one up in the trees, and I couldn't see. There's none on the road. So
we call them punter's eyes, one each way. Yeah. A little car quirk. Did the engine turn off when you turned the radio on? If you popped the bonnet, did the boot go up? We want to hear all your stories. Right now, we're talking to you about car quirks. Yeah, I'll let you into the lane. Is it you, Gina Jeffries, on the horn? Who have we got? Jay Marie first up. You got a car quirk for us, Jay?
I certainly do, Matty. I bought a brand new car and the engine used to cut out on me every time I went round a roundabout. Makes a very interesting drive.
So would you then have to plan where you were going as to where roundabouts were? You go, okay, I can't go down there. Definitely can't go there. I have to go all back streets.
Absolutely, yeah.
That would stress me out so much.
I'll take my horn going off around a roundabout anytime rather than a car shutting you down, that's for sure. Yeah. We got Ricky in Batto Bay. Hey, Rick.
Hey, guys, how are we?
Good, Ricky. Now, can you beat Matty's the horn going off when he goes around a roundabout story?
I used to have a car. I was driving home from work one night and my car started to overheat.
Yeah.
And my window started to mist up, so I turned the heater on, and then my temperature gauge started going down. So I realised if I leave my heater on, my temperature gauge stays in the middle. The only problem is I overheat instead of the car.
Okay, so that didn't just affect the meter. Like it wasn't just the meter that was staying. It was actually cooling your engine by putting the heater on in the car.
Yes.
Oh, that is incredible.
And isn't it funny how you just get used to it? If that's your car and it does it, you're like, yep, no, it's all right. It's all good.
Fine.
It's all good.
I drove it for another 3 months like that.
Ricky's like, does anyone need a lift? And they're like, no, we're
No,
all
we're
right,
good,
mate.
thanks.
We'll walk. Totally fine. Let's go to Sherry. Sherry, are you there? You got a story for us, Sherry?
I do. I had a 97 VS Series 2 Commodore. Every time I went to Bunnings, my fuel pump would go. Every time. 6 times that happened.
At Bunnings?
At Bunnings.
Why?
Every time I went to Bunnings, I'd have to get my car towed home and replace the fuel pump.
So did you just stop going to Bunnings?
I did. It was trying to tell me I was spending way too much money.
Just have a sausage sizzle at home on the weekend instead. Let's go to Melissa in Baddo Bay. Hey, Melissa.
Hi.
All right, what do you got
Tell
for
us
us?
your story, Melissa.
I had an old Ford and we went down to have dinner in Orange once. And I went to back to the restaurant and asked where my car keys were. And they said that that my car keys weren't there. So I had to call my dad and he had to come down and break the ignition. And then I had to drive my car with a knife.
Okay.
What?
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I just put some pieces together here? You're having dinner in Orange, right? So you lost your car keys at the restaurant somewhere?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They weren't there. Dad come down, hot wire the car, and he's just brought down like a butter knife, stuck it in the ignition, and it started it up.
Yeah.
So is Dad a professional criminal that he knew how to do that? That's what I'm wondering.
No.
And how long after that did you just keep driving the car with the butter knife?
For a while.
I love that so much.
Good to know. Hey, in good news, Matty, I found my car keys the other day. You know how I lost them?
Yeah.
Found them!
Oh, my gosh. No more butter knives for you either.
No more butter knives for me.
Let's go one more. Brendo in Buff Point. Hey, Brendan.
How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, mate.
Brendan,
Bring it home.
busting to hear what your car does, or did.
So I used to have, back when I was at school, I used to have an 82 Nissan Prairie. And
wow.
it used to have, yeah, I know, right? That's a quirk in itself.
Yeah, 100%. Sorry about that. Yeah, keep going.
Real chick magnet.
It had starter motor problems, so it would just be really random when the car would decide it was going to start or not. Like, not even mechanics could figure it out what the issue was. Anyway, so when I was at school, I used to have to park up the top of the hill in the teacher's car park, and I used to have to get my younger brother to push the car down the hill to start it every single day.
No.
Oh, man. Was that spot always there, or did you have to then, like, park further away, find another hill if that spot was gone?
No, that was always my spot. I think the teachers kind of like allocated it for me, like they felt sorry for me.
The Gina and Matty Podcast.
For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.